noticed that in my last video on how to prepare boning, it was only flat steel boning. I didn't address spiral steel boning. So I got a few requests on how to prepare spiral steel boning to put in your corsets. And when I did the tutorial, it ended up being about 13 minutes long, so I had to cut it into 2 parts. The video here is just an introduction to spiral steel boning. What it is, what it looks like, where you would find it normally in a corset, how it compares to other types of boning, and I also address a couple questions that I've received about it. In the next tutorial, which I'll upload right after this, I will actually show you how to cut and tip your boning to put in your corset. So enjoy! So just as a recap, I'm going to show you what the spring steel boning is. This is also called flat steel. It's also called white boning because you can see it's coated with some nylon coating to prevent it from rusting or corroding. And it's called spring steel because when you bend it, it springs right back. You can see that on its side, you can bend it like this, but when you turn it this way, you can't bend it from side to side. So it only has one direction of bending. If you want to learn how to cut and tip and prepare this, then I'll put a link right up there to direct you to that video. The next thing I'm going to show you is plastic boning. This is the featherweight boning, and I would not advise using this for any sort of corset. Maybe if you were making some sort of like very soft bustier or something, you might use this. But generally it bends out of shape very easily. You can see that I can just kink it like that. Not very good. That's not going to be very comfortable for you. So I would generally advise not using this. I just wanted to point this out because plastic boning does come in white and black, and if you ask for white flat boning in a fabric store, they might not understand that you're looking for steel boning and they might direct you to the plastic white boning instead. But I just want to show you the differences between the two. So this is not what you're looking for. You want the flat steel boning that I just showed you before. So now let's move on to the spiral steel boning. So you can buy it already pre-tipped like this. So you can buy it in lengths already made for you. And you can usually buy it in sets of 1 or a dozen like here. Or if you prefer, you can just get it in a spiral like this. You can just get it in a coil of, 1 meter or 20 meters or 100 meters, whatever your local supply store provides you with. I actually have to order it online because I don't really have any supply stores nearby that actually sell corset materials. I do find that it is less expensive if you just buy the long coils of the spiral steel like this, and then you can tip it and cut it yourself. It does take a little bit more preparation, but I don't really mind if I'm going to be saving money. And here you can see the spiral steel boning close up, so you can see all the little wires going round and round like this, layered on one another. It looks like a spring, like a slinky that's been flattened down so that it's all flat like this. It has a lot of flexibility, much more flexibility than spring steel boning. As you can see, when it's on its side like this, you can bend it back and forth. And you can also bend it side to side. So one of the nice things about spiral steel boning is that if you have a corset where you're not able to make all your boning channels perfectly straight, then you can make curved boning channels, and you can actually put this down because it does have the 4-way ability to bend. However, I would not advise using spiral steel boning where you need extra sturdiness, for instance in the middle front where the busk would be, or in the middle back where you would put the grommets, because it does have the side-to-side bending. It's not going to provide that sturdiness, that rigidness that's necessary to keep those grommets straight and to provide that strength. So even though you're not able to compress this lengthwise very well, you still need the sturdiness side to side of the flat steel boning in the front and the back. But this is perfectly fine for any other places, especially on the sides. So some of you might be wondering, because the spiral steel boning isn't covered in any sort of white nylon coating the same way that the flat bones are, does this make it more susceptible to any sort of corrosion or rust? Generally no, as long as you don't throw it in the wash. But they are treated in several ways actually. You can see the difference here. This in my left hand is a little bit lighter silver, whereas this in my right hand is a little bit darker. I believe in my left hand, this has been treated, it's been galvanized. So it's been covered with a thin layer of zinc or some sort of zinc alloy that does not contain any iron. So it's not going to rust over time if it doesn't have any iron in it. And this in my right hand, it's been anodized. So it's been passed through a chemical that throws electrons onto the outer metal of it. So if you remember back from chemistry class, loss of electrons is oxidation. Well, gain of electrons is reduction, and the more electrons you have here, the less susceptible it is to oxidation. So this is more resistant to any sort of rust and corrosion. So you don't have to worry about that. So I hope this video sufficiently answered the questions that a few of you had on spiral steel boning. If there are any other questions that I forgot to address, feel free to leave it in a comment below. I'll be happy to answer you. I will upload the tutorial right now on how to cut and prepare your spiral steel boning. So I will see you soon. Bye.